Pieces of that letter were tossed about the room, and now I hear the sound of sirens come laughing through the gloom. But they don't know what they are doing. They could hardly understand that they're only arresting pieces of a man. I saw him go to pieces. I saw him go to pieces. He was always such a good man. He was always such a strong, strong man. Yeah, I saw him go to pieces. I saw him go to pieces.
What's going on, family? This is HB, and this is Home-Base Poetries. Poetically speaking, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here and to be able to share and spend some time with you all as we get a chance to interview and talk to some amazing poets from around the country. Just amazing people that's doing great things within the artist world and outside of the artist world. They making some great stuff happen, making some amazing things happen. And I'm honored as HB to be here, to be able to rap with them a little bit, talk to them. And we're really fired up because this is Home-Base's 8th year anniversary going down in Phoenix, Arizona. So it's been 8 years that Home-Base Poetry has been in place. We put ourselves together 8 years ago because we wanted an open mic where people could feel safe, feel good at. People always ask us, why did you call it Home-Base? Has it got something to do with baseball? No, not at all. I'm originally from Chicago. So as a kid, we used to play it and freeze tag and all the childhood games. And if you played those games like me, then you already know it was serious. Oh, it was real. When you're running for freeze tag, if you got caught in the middle of the street, you didn't even move if a car was coming because those was the rules. It was panicking. You're running all over the place. And the only place where you felt safe at was when your hand was on home base. So this is the safe place for people to share their heart, their soul, and their spirit. And that open mic in Phoenix, Arizona, most people wouldn't believe that, but in Phoenix, Arizona, grew to be one of the biggest open mics in the United States. And we're very, very proud of that, having shows upwards of 600, 700 people for a poetry reading, right? Unheard of. So extremely proud of that. So clearly we had something special. And now we're bringing it to you in the form of this talk show, being able to spend some time, drop some knowledge, talk about the things that's going on, because Lord knows in 2017, it's a lot of things going on right now. And we get a chance to bring in artists sometimes from across the country, which is what we have going on today as we prepare for tomorrow's 8th anniversary, the infinity anniversary of Home-Base Poetry. Obviously, turn 8 to the side, infinity, right? So we're completing this thing in the 8th year, and we're taking it to a whole nother level. So this 8th anniversary, this infinity anniversary, tomorrow is going to be one of the biggest shows we've ever had. And we have been blessed to not just have I Am Jones coming in from Oakland, who's relocated from Phoenix to the Oakland area, but we also have from the Tennessee Nashville marketplace. Super excited. We got Writer's Block, Rewrite the Block. You know what I mean? It was crazy. I got a chance to see them when I was in Nashville. It was like, when you say Writer's Block, we write the block, and we was yelling from the crowd. Man, these young folks had me hyped, had me super excited, and it's extremely exciting to see another generation of poets poets making it happen. I ain't saying I'm that old, but I'm old enough. These grades are real. I earned them. And these young folks is really, really getting it in the poetry world. Super proud to see them doing it. So we got Miss Karimah in the house, as well as Newlee from Writer's Block.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm doing great. Thank y'all so much for just coming out to Arizona to spend some time with us, bringing us some of that good Tennessee flavor out here. I know y'all gonna rock the mic on Sunday. You got a chance. Oh yeah, for sure. You got a chance to hit the mic on Wednesday with my boy Cosmic Cadences and his open mic with King Kong, Poetic Soul. But tomorrow's the show. Tomorrow it goes down. So why don't you do me a favor, ladies first? Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves? You know, where you're from, how you got into poetry. Just who are you? Who is Karimah? Who are you?
Okay, Karimah, of course. That's my stage name. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, born and raised, native. I've been with Writer's Block for about 2 years now. Started writing poetry about the 7th grade. Then came to Writer's Block, did an open mic with them, and that's when I fell in love. When they was like, we write the block, and I wanted to write the block. I wanted to say that. And I remember before I got in, I was asking, can I say that? And so been with them ever since. Me and Newlee been rocking for a while as well, but that's just a lot about me.
Right. So what is Writer's Block, though?
Okay.
You know, Newlee, tell me who you are, and then tell me what Writer's Block is.
Okay.
All right. So my name is Randy Lee Taylor. I go by NewleeMade. That's a stage name that kind of developed in its own. But for me, like, I want to say I would consider myself a late bloomer. I kid about this all the time. It took me about 20 years to write my first piece.
It was a masterpiece, though. It wasn't just a piece. It was a masterpiece.
I was pleased with it, but definitely it's all about growth. It's all about growth. But Writer's Block in itself, it was formed from really a void. Like, after I started writing, the instinct of expression and that outlet, once that was there, I wanted a place to share it. I wanted a place to, verbalize these thoughts that I've written down. So at the time, I didn't know of any place, and I would ask other people, I would talk to other people, but there wasn't a place that was there. So there was this void. So Writer's Block really came from that void. It was just, we wanted to create a space where people could grow and share and develop in their craft and what they love to do. So it came from that void, and really just we've been rocking ever since.
Dope. Well, I'm glad that y'all was able to come out and spend some time with us. Definitely means the world. Now, this is your first trip to Arizona?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. All right. What made you decide to say, you know what, I want to go hit up Arizona. I want to see what's going on with the community out there?
Well, when you came to Nashville and you spit something for us, I was like, okay, he's nice, older. But a lot of older poets, they kind of fall in the same category, and you were dope. So it's like, we want to go to Arizona. Then we talked a little bit about home base, and we were intrigued that we wanted to go somewhere. So I was like, why not go to Phoenix? Let's go to Arizona. And then it just so happens when we both could come, you're doing the 8-year anniversary.
Yeah.
It all aligns.
Sound like fate.
It does.
I mean, hey, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So things just worked, and it flew, or it flowed. So we flew.
There you go. Now, you all, if you don't mind me, you all are in your early 20s. Yeah? Okay. So I'm 38 in the game. I've been doing poetry for 24 years. It'll be 25 years in next month. I've been doing poetry. Clearly started on Valentine's Day in, 8th grade. It's a long story, you know what I'm saying? But it was love poetry, and it was off the chain. Don't judge me. So I've been doing poetry as long as y'all been alive, kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So when we talk about multi-generational, how important is it to you that your age group, your generation, pick up? And what role do you feel like those of us who are older than you, the generation before, what role do you feel like we still even play in the mix?
That's a heavy question.
Is it? Well, we got time.
I feel like this generation is so misunderstood, but they're very fearless, And if they knew like the power that they held inside of them, just how awesome they would be. And I think it's a strong gap between the older generations and this generation, because a lot of the older generations, like, I don't know where y'all come from, I don't understand, as if they didn't raise us. But poetry and art is revolutionary, and so many revolutions have started with poetry. So I felt that people understood that the poet, the rappers, and the older generation coming from that kind of took on that mentorship role rather than like, you know, jealousy or feeling some type of way. If they took that on, then we could be a powerful force to be reckoned with.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a generational gap right now, but there's much to learn from either side. Like, you can learn from anyone. A teacher could be anyone, so you can learn in any situation. There's a lesson to be had, but I feel like there's information that they have, and there's information that we know or that we've come across. So it's like putting all that information together. We'll have the essential tools that we need to overcome whatever obstacles that lay in front of us.
This is a good conversation piece, a great way to start off, because I think the same gaps that we may discuss here in the poetry world just exist as far as just our, gaps in general.
Yes.
Right? And so you spoke about the, generation before you not being, not having this jealousy, because it's there. It could be there. Not acting like they don't understand what you're going through, because we made you.
Right.
Right? You didn't get here by yourself. That's important to understand. They didn't make themselves. Just like we didn't make ourselves. Generation before us played a major role in that. So we can't act like they just came. We allowed this stuff to happen. We allowed reality shows to take over and wonder why they act that way when they're raised on reality shows. Exactly. You know what I mean? So we let things happen, and, we got to be a little more understanding for sure. And if we were communicating more, listening more, then that would be helpful from our side. What do you feel like your role is, and what mistake do you see? You know what I mean? So let's say we did that, but it can't all be on us.
Nah.
So what does your, generation or age group, what things do you think that they can do better, or what do you feel like your responsibility is in bridging this communication gap that's obviously here?
Can I say it?
Yes.
Okay. I would definitely say accountability. There's got to be a certain level of accountability and responsibility. In this era, we have more information, access to more information. It's available. Like, we have no excuse to not know something, whether it's bad education or bad system, whatever the case. We have access. So definitely accountability and taking upon ourselves. If it's not provided, then make for ourselves. There's just no excuse in that realm.
As far as he said, what the generation would do. As far as me personally, what I feel I could do, Sunday is a platform. I've had different platforms to speak on, so always making sure that I know what I'm talking about. But speaking truth, when you have people listening to you, just eliminating the arrogance and really coming to them with truth and making sure that all that you're saying is profound, something that they can get from or gain from it.
Right. No, that's real. You talk about the information and how there's no excuse not to know something these days, right? And I say all the time, it's not the information age anymore. That was when I was younger. It was just trying to get information. Person with the most information won, and it was that way for a while. But now we've been so flooded and overrun with information. It's the filtration age. Do you know how to filter out the information you don't need, that you shouldn't have, that's just going to, overflow you and have you thinking in the wrong way, but more importantly, have you distracted from the real issue? Exactly. Have you distracted from what's really happening? There's no way I should know so much about Kylie Jenner. I know more than I want to know. I know more than I want to know. I look on news things, and I can't just get only news. I also have to get celebrities' personal lives, right? Which is their personal lives, and it deserves to be their personal life, right? So learning that filtration process is going to be extremely important. And hopefully, like every generation, if every generation could get even further, if they're able to learn from the generation that came before, from someone who's teaching humbly.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're listening humbly, and because once you grown. At the end of the day, young grown, old grown, grown is grown. You 18, that means you're going to get charged as an adult.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? 21, you can have a drink. You can go to fight for this country, I got no reason to disrespect you as an adult. You're still an adult, bottom line. But if you could miss some of the mistakes I made, you can live 2 lifetimes in one.
Right.
And that is strong. That is strong. So that's good. That's good. I think, what were you going to say?
I was just saying that, like, think if you look at like any of the leaders who have been successful or who have like had an impact on the community, they don't think just about the lifetime that they're in. They think for the generation that comes after them, generations down the line. So if we look at our actions and think about how they're going to impact the generations that come after us, that generational type thinking, I think that would be a
legacy.
Start.
Legacy is everything. That's why I'm so excited. I mean, I'm hype y'all here. You know what I mean? I'm hype y'all here because I wouldn't want anybody second guessing me when I was 19, 20. I was cold. You know what I'm saying? I was killing the game. I'm just saying. And so what are some of the challenges that you feel that help me understand, because there's some things I just don't get. I'm not going to get as much, right? Just raised in a different age group, I'm not going to get it. So maybe you can kind of help me understand it, right? So from the hip hop level, you know what I mean? So some of the stuff I don't really get, right? I see a lot of, it's the mumbling. It's a lot of mumbling. I was like, talk up, man. Like that annoys me more than anything else. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Talk. Say it like you want me to know what you're saying, right? And then the apps and just the dating world in this day and age is a little much for me. It's a little intense, right? So it's a lot I don't get. If you wanted us to understand anything, and don't just talk about the stuff you proud of with your generation. I mean, we're powerful and we're strong. You know, y'all be on some BS sometimes. Y'all know y'all be tripping. Y'all look at each other like, why are you embarrassing us right now? If you wanted us to understand something about y'all generation, what would it be? Tell me, what do you want us to get? You got us. We're willing to do it. Let's change the world. What you want us to get?
I don't know.
Now you're thinking about all the ratchet people your age, ain't you? It's true. We all got them. We all got them.
You got it.
Something I want you to understand.
Yeah. Is there anything you want me to anything you want us to get, or you just want us to just live and let live and get out your way?
It's more stuff that I want us as a generation to understand. I feel this generation has more so been raised by the televisions, and we like everything fast paced. I was listening to a song, like an older song. It was like 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God, why is this song so long? But like these days, I was like, why is this so long? It's so good, but it's really long. And now songs are like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. We just have everything that we're used to, that instant gratification.
Right.
So the mumble rap, it's like, I don't know what they're saying. I hate that music. I don't understand it. I'm not sure what they're saying. And it's a lot of people, it just gets them hyped. They just wanna get hyped and turned up. So
which is okay.
There's nothing wrong with that, but really.
But when that's all you got, it's like it's okay to have a bag of chips, but if that's your whole diet, that's not okay.
Exactly.
Not okay.
So that's what I want us to. It's about moderation and a balance, a healthy balance.
Right on.
Because that music can poison you.
Oh yeah. Anything you put into your soul, or poison you. If you look at old videos from back in the day when they show people being brainwashed, like the old, Superfly and stuff like that, they're sitting strapped in a chair, eyelids taped open, watching images, real fast images, right? Pushing information into your brain. Looks a lot like our commercials, don't it? Looks a lot like, Twitter feeds, right? Back and forth. Look a lot like the advertisements. Billboards don't even stay still no more.
That is so true.
Billboards can't stand. Everything got ADHD. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. What about you? You got anything that you would like for your age group to understand, or that you would like for the age group before you to understand?
Yeah, I like to. Each generation has their own thing that they struggle with. So this is my PSA to all you out there in my generation. I struggle with you. I understand. Put the phones down. On a serious tip, like if you look at people's involvement, how people are so disconnected from each other. Like you look at any atmosphere or setting where you'll have people together, a restaurant, transportation, people are sitting down but they're on their phones, they're on their devices, and it's an addiction. It's a real life, it's an issue. Like if you have symptoms or things that your behavior exhibits or exudes that of an addiction. So understand, one, that it's a problem. Denial.
Go through the steps.
There's a step, but like understanding that it has an effect on you and the things that you do, and that it takes away from our livelihood and the things that how we connect as a people, like
For
how
sure.
we connect to each other, and we miss out on things. We
Yeah.
miss out on lessons and how to interact with each other because of that disconnect.
Absolutely.
So put the phones down.
Yes, I am a texter. Do not call me.
Just do not call me. Oh my God.
I avoid it all anytime.
Oh my God. Isn't that the most disrespectful thing? You call somebody, they text you back. Be like, yo, for real? Maybe we just shouldn't talk then. You know what I mean? Is this where our relationship is? You know what? With that PSA, I think that's a good time for us to take a break. So we're going to take a little quick break, everybody, and we will be back with Writer's Block, Karimah, and Newlee. That's right. We write the block. I'm writing the block all the way in Arizona, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I hope I don't get sued for copyright infringement, but it's going down anyway. It's going down. All right. We see you all in a couple minutes.
I feel a shift within. A shift that my ancestors, great-grandmother, grandmother, and mother hoped for. That I cried for when the doctor slapped me on my ass to wake me up in this world. As my eyes begin to open to my new existence, awareness of things to come. I now know I can begin to be who I knew I was, and not hide away my thoughts, my fears, or even my tears. When you look at my soul, you challenge me. I hear that slap again. Wake up, you dead soul, and live. It is time to do what you've been called to do since in your mother's womb. It is time to wear that veil protecting my beauty from those who won't receive it anyways, only to reveal it to the one who yearns for it every day, who yearns for my smile, my laugh, the way I move, and the things I say. It is time to take that first look at life, and with those unfamiliar shapes and colors, and familiarize myself with what goes with my heartbeat. My heartbeat. The way you look at me corrects all irregular beating. I'm speaking of your heartbeat. You beat to the same rhythm as if we traveled together before, through centuries, wandering aimlessly apart, yet our heart beats the same. And I begin to remember my name, and my name means noble. Realizing I was always a queen, noble. Awaken the goddess in me. No more going down to the pagan's level, because I feel a shift as we kiss and our energies pass from one to another. My eyes begin to make out those unfamiliar shapes and colors, and I realize that you are my king. And you are what this queen has been yearning for since the beginning. My inner cries only the spirit can interpret, and only the spirit can explain this. In the end, the slap in the beginning, it's a full circle I'm in. I now have arrived from not knowing anything to knowing all things. The shift I'm in.
Strip down like.
You know, I'm always cold. So.
This is where you at.
Hey, what's going on? Once again, this is HB from Poetically Speaking, and we are rapping and talking and doing what we do with these amazing poets in town from Tennessee. Writer's Block.
We write the block.
See, they write. You know what I mean? It's crazy in here. It's crazy. Karimah is doing her thing. Is along with Newly as well. Newly Made in the house. Amazing young poets doing their thing. We just had a great conversation about generations and generational gaps and just communication and what we need from each other. Because we need these conversations. What we need, you know what I mean, from each other. I need you to not laugh at me when I try to use your terms. I don't know. I was in the car earlier. I was like, I think it's on fleek. I don't know. Is that how that works? What's next? So I may need your help a little bit. All right. So, you know, and I'll show y'all some stuff too. I promise. I promise we got something to offer y'all. And so one thing I know about poets is that poets are never just sitting at home writing, because poetry comes from life and life experience. So you're clearly passionate about a lot of different things if you are a committed poet. And so what are some things that you all are passionate about? It could be from baking cookies to what's going on with officers and the community. You know, whatever it is, to global famine. You know what I mean? To the polar caps, whatever. Okay, what are you all passionate about? I noticed that Newly Made always looks at you.
I was tapping.
Right. Always look at you.
I feel like, you know, the whole ladies first. I try to be a gentleman, but at the same time, I want to make sure I'm not stepping over you. I feel like, especially with passion, because we got this thing called P's. Spit sign, that's our logo. It's actually an acronym, speaking your P in truth. So every person has their own P.
Okay.
My P is purpose. Her P is passion. So when you're talking about passion, I'm thinking like she
finna. Oh, this is like her code name.
I guess not.
Kind of like for POTUS, you know what I mean?
Not.
Passion is coming through the hall now. We have passion. Bringing them in.
Well,
Exactly.
no, I'm passionate about so much, and I think my P is passionate just because it comes through my poetry. Like, one thing, when I'm up there, I'm just passionate, but my people, I'm really passionate just about Black people just getting it together, but understanding like what's going on in the world and what we need to be doing to get together. Like, just the officers, I'm passionate about that. Spreading awareness, I'm passionate about that. I recently stopped eating chicken 8 months ago.
I didn't know it was that recent. I didn't know it was that recent. Okay, so she looked at me like that because we was talking about getting something to eat. I was gonna cook and found out that pescatarian, you know what I mean, which is awesome. Only seafood and veggies. I didn't know it was, you know, I thought maybe you grew up that way or something. No. So this is like 8 months. So you still feeling it, you know what I mean? Well, you still go past the Popeyes and break out in cold sweats.
No. I have one.
Cheat days.
I only cheated one time in 8 months, and that's because I wanted some chicken. There's nothing wrong with wanting some chicken.
She's looking real defensive about that right now. Right? She just kind of went in a little bit. Okay.
Anyways, so me and Newly cook, and so I've been experiencing just the love for cooking, just figuring out how to make salmon taste like chicken, and we've done some crazy stuff. We've done salmon meatballs, we fried salmon with the fish. So I'm passionate about art, just anything where I can create and I can go on and on. That's why I want a Newly.
Nice.
I'm passionate about a lot of things as well. Definitely the community, the youth, people coming after us, you know, building them up, making sure they have something that gives them guidance. Yeah. I believe that every artist or anyone who considers themselves to be an artist, they have two art forms. Not everyone finds that second art form, but I believe everyone has another art form that complements their art form or their original art form. So for me, I picked up a camera for documentation purposes. And initially it was just to capture like photos, videos, so that we could use it for later. But I turned out like really enjoying it. And I guess I have kind of an eye for capturing things. So for me, photography, videography, that was my second art form. I love taking pictures and covering things, events, things of that nature. But yeah.
Dope. I got into the photography myself for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. Loved it. Got a couple pictures and And technology moves so fast. It was hard to keep up with the cameras and stuff. I was like, man, this thing is expensive. You know what I mean? This is crazy. It's a great conversation starter for girls too when you're younger, walking around with a camera like, boy.
And they just assume.
You're a model.
They just assume.
They just,
Oh, you're a photographer.
You assume, they assume you don't correct them. Whatever. Hey, whatever. No, you guys are crazy. You roll with it. So we talked about our people, right? And being passionate about black people and being passionate about moving that agenda forward and really helping the community continue to find footing. Yes. Because we got to be careful not to make it seem like we don't have it together. Because, a lot of us is doing great. Yeah. Like any group, a lot of black people are doing great. A lot of people need some help. Still trying to find their way, right? It happens everywhere. I can say that for the Filipino community. I say that for the Mexican community, the Cuban, white community. I can say for them all, right? Yeah. And so what does a rival look like to you? You know what I mean? Because usually when you're fighting for something, you have an end goal that looks a certain way. What does that look like to you? That was a good one, right? That was a good question. I just came up with it right then. It's off top of the head. That's how I do. That's how I do.
To me, a rival looks like cooperative economics. One thing you see in the African American community, I like hair. They know we like hair. Mostly Asians or Chinese people are owning the hair stores. Okay. In our community. So it's just like, okay, you're going to buy your hair, buy it from someone black. Right. If you're going to go do, if you think about Chinatown, people, they have things established. When we go get our nails done, we're not going to someone black. We're going to someone Asian. That's what they do. That's in their family day. And they take their money and go back. So when we arrive, it would just be cooperative.
And we take our money and buy hair.
Exactly. Right. The money doesn't circulate is what I mean.
Absolutely.
So the support. That's why when we arrive, we hold grudges over somebody for stepping on our toe, but we'll go back to Walmart. We'll go back and
where they disrespected you, treated you bad. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's a rival for me. That's a rival.
There's so many things that just hold us back. I feel like I look at all the things that we could accomplish if we didn't have to worry about certain things that tear us down or separate us. So many things that distract us from what could be accomplished. So
absolutely.
I'm gonna geek out for a second. I like comics. I like anime, things of that nature. If you're familiar with Marvel, Black Panther. Black Panther. That's my man. For me, it looks like you might saw him in the.
We don't have enough time.
Right. But for me, it looks like Wakanda.
Absolutely,
it's his own nation, and it can sustain itself, and it's not taken away from anybody. But they're able to, be left alone and tend to their science and their agriculture, and they can grow and protect their people, and they don't need help from anybody else. They don't need handouts.
And I think that's the key is need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love to interact. I love different cultures.
Right.
I love to interact. I love to hang out, and we could trade. Trade is mandatory for any nation, but make sure that it's fair trade happening, and make sure it's not a need, it's a want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Make sure it's not a need, it's a want. I could dig that. You brought up comics and you brought up, nerd and anime, and I'm a Full Metal Alchemist guy myself. You know what I mean? And I got Black Panther tattooed on my back. You know what I'm saying? So it's
for real?
Yeah, for real. Oh no, my comic book game is so real. They'll find out later. That's great. Yeah, sit in the same room with my boa constrictor. Don't judge me. I get to be what I want to be in this world. And so, but we only got a few minutes left. I want you to tell people how to contact you, and I want you to start thinking, because I'm gonna need a piece. I'm gonna need a piece before we get out of here. So I want you to think about how the folks can contact you, how they can follow up with you, how they can get in touch with you. There's some people from Tennessee that may want to see you, may want to get on your websites and stuff. Boom, give it to me.
Okay. You can.
They having too much fun. They don't know what to do in Arizona.
No, let me get serious.
Okay,
so we have a website, www.
So that's why you let it go first. Got it.
3 W's.
I said 3.
Okay. Roll the tape.
And then, you can write us at Gmail, writetheblock@gmail. And then you can follow us on IG, Writer's Block, as well as Facebook, Writer's Block.
At Write the Block.
There it is. So y'all got something y'all may want to share with us? A little verse or something?
For sure.
They tired of hearing from my old butt. You know what I mean? They made it real clear I'm old and I should get off the mic.
I did not say that.
They made it real clear that they're just done with me. And
not discriminate against generations.
About your, he almost said your kind, your people. I heard it. He almost said your people, and that's racist. They're crazy. Give me a piece. Give me a piece. What y'all got?
Let's see. I'll give you my I am. I am the American sniper, unadulterated truth in my rifle. Put a target on your head, shoot you dead with my eyes closed. I am the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the ending. I am Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. I never seen my Papa's hat because he was always gone. I'm the one who's always underestimated but very much anticipated. The ugly duckling who turned into a swan trying to find her way in this vicious pond. I am a queen and you were all my pawns. I am so over Sunday morning congregation, spiritual masturbation. My soul is awaiting to be awakened. I am a beauty, ready to unleash this beast. Your favorite delicacy. I hum these words so delicately. If you cut me open, I would probably bleed ink. My skin is made of braille. You can feel what I think. I'm so spaghetti. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because that's all my mama used to make. I'm not your average black girl. You can tell from the lack of booty. I sit high on my throne. Nothing less than a king can pursue me. I'm so Nashville, Tennessee. Not country music, but fists with the Jubilee. Jefferson before the intersection, turning blacks to a different direction. I am the exception to the rule. Because I tend to have a lot of people fool. I'm a little bit of this and a whole lot of that. But really, I'm just a dreamer. You can't define me by titles or put me in a box because I am me, Karimah.
Come on. What? We'll never forget you again. That's what
Same honor.
Come on now, right?
All right.
Let's go. Newly made in the house. Let's get it.
This be my conscious flow. But I ain't conscious though. They say he conscious. No. I'm like I'm more aware. See, I'm changing every day. I guess I'm on that underwear. Yeah, I know that's kind of weird. Never have I ever cared. You gon' get some scars in life. He said it's best to be prepared. Well, I am on a journey. Please don't trip, I got that travel fare. Shout out to that tortoise life and all you here who living here. No, there is no destination, just the act of getting there. Said shout out to that tortoise life. All you here who living here. No, there is no destination, just the act of getting there. I said it twice to make it clear. Keep it crystal like the stair. You find a path and don't look back. Your ancestors will have the rear. Not gon' front. You get it right. There is nothing left to fear. These directions be to the map of life. And the key is how you choose to steer.
Come on now. Come on. I see you, writer's block. Rewrite the block. You gotta say that every time. You say writer's block. You rewrite the block. I swear, it's like a gang initiation. You gotta do it. It's just how it goes down. They everywhere. It's real. It is real. You know what? Too often we hear poems spin, we clap, but we don't recognize the metaphor and the analogy and the grind and the work that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? We don't recognize the fact that you just spoke for royalty in there. You spoke for being you, being independent, being different, and how that's okay, and how you're still important with that. You know what I mean? And you can represent where you're from and who you are without taking away from anybody else.
Right.
Never let anybody make you feel bad. It kills me when they get mad at people for dancing in the end zone. You know what I mean? When that one ball player, you know what I mean, slapped his wife around. Why don't you get mad about that? Right? Let them do what they do in this end zone. They worked hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They did their thing. Why shouldn't I celebrate? You know, they knocking it out. And so I appreciate that, right? And I appreciate the conscious but not conscious, you know what I mean? Don't put me in that box.
Yeah.
Don't put me in that box. Because, you know, we may talk, you know, the nerd talk, we may talk math and flows, we may talk, you know, from spiritual and doing the right thing, and you know, and if it go wrong, we may talk war, right? I get to be all of these things. I get to be it all, and y'all represent it all extremely well, very well. I'm extremely proud of you all. Not that you care, but since you made me the great granddad old ass man poet today, allow me to say, yes you did, yes you did. Quit trying to take it back now. Yes you did, yes you did, you did it. But let me just say, we're proud of you. And if y'all the ones picking up that poetry mantle, we in good shape.
Aww.
Keep fighting that battle, y'all. Keep fighting that battle. Absolutely. Inshallah, you be around, you continue, you make it work, you make it pop. Now, we just hit y'all with like 4 different cultures in like 30 seconds. They gonna be like, is he Muslim? What's going on? What's it? Y'all don't know what's going on. It don't even matter. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Now, leave y'all all confused.
I like that.
Leave y'all all confused. Exactly. Hit them with the Vulcan. Right.
We need it all.
Avengers Assemble. Whatever. We're doing it all.
Every time.
Not far enough.
And of course, I am over here gang banging in the corner. And so, family, clearly we are having a phenomenal time. I'm about to let y'all go, but I want to let y'all go with some thoughts. I want to let you go with be you. Be who you are unapologetically. You owe God that. You owe your offspring that. Don't apologize for who you are, for what you feel, for your spirit. However, work on who you are. Don't settle. Don't be okay with being the lesser version of you. Be the best version of you. Because I refuse to accept the lesser you. Don't expect me to accept the lazy you. The I'm not grinding you. The I'm not even putting in that extra effort you. Don't ask me to accept that. That's not me being judgmental. That's me being honest. That's me holding you up to a standard, because that's what we all need. Somebody to hold us up to a standard so that we stretch a little bit, so that we don't become victims of instant gratification. And we know how to delay. We know that the right thing to do is not to believe everything we read, right? And we filter through the information and only take what we need because it's feeding our souls and our spirit. Family, we're going to be at home base tomorrow night. I hope that you make it with us. I hope that you're there. I hope that you continue to plug in as we start this brand new talk show, Poetically Speaking. I hope you saw something that fed you a little bit, made you want to share it a little bit, made you feel a little bit stronger, a little bit better, a little bit faster, kind of like the Bionic Man. You know what I mean? I hope that's the case for you. So check us out, homebasepoetry.com. Follow us on Facebook. Homebase is one word. Poetry is the second word. Also on Twitter, right? Homebase Poetry. And I think I should even do an Instagram. So by the time you see this, I may do that too. We'll see. Right? I'm trying to keep up with y'all. Right? We're going to do it all, baby. But tomorrow night at the Parsons Center, make sure you come and check us out. Only $15 all for the entire show plus after party. I am Jones, Writer's Block. I'm your host, along with the amazing Tomas, my man, DJ Showtime, DJing the open mic, but the after party being and Showtime in Chicago's own DJ Blue Dice. Sigma Go Mob, my brother, all the way from Baltimore, doing his thing as well. Oh, the shout outs is real. The shout outs is real. Ain't nobody finna be mad at me. And so we gonna do it all. And co-host Tomas from Phoenix. Don't doubt, Phoenix Suns are real. And when I say sons, I mean SON, as it is sons and daughters from Phoenix that are doing amazing things, that gave us somewhere to plant our feet. And we thank you, all of you natives from Arizona. We appreciate you. Family, this is Home Bases, Poetically Speaking. I am HB. That was Writer's Block, right? And we are going to take it to a whole nother level. I see you in the next show. Peace.
Every black man southern should be a poet, writing lines with his walking stride, the deep sense of pride of which he pursues his stories, glowing with the glories of freedom marches, the acrobatical battles of ball games, to retreat to the peace of a rocking chair, the protection of a front screen poach, and that dog, that pretty brown dog, could never bring myself to put a leash on it. Feel my brothers when I speak on it, cause every black man southern should be a poet. Poetically speaking, needing to tell a tale of tales like the blind reading, bruh, you gotta touch it. No rushing, have to take his time. Pay attention to the few points with the line, enters between the words up under the line space. I bet you can taste it if you tried. I bet you can taste it if you try. See, I bet you can taste it if you tried. You can slide your tongue over the phrases. Every conversation is had on a poetic training basis. Barbershops and hair salons, Baptist and Pentecostal churches, verses brought to life by the likes of Mr. James Weldon Johnson, and then God smiled. And the light broke. And the darkness rolled up on one side, and the light still shining on the other. And God said, "That's good. It feels good, like soul music." In the background of some family supper, 'cause no matter where you go, speaking of her or the dinner, finna tell you something. No matter where you go, nothing's better than a home cooked meal. The countryman is the only species of black that can successfully compare his woman to something completely unsexy and still have it sound that's so like, babe, you like I play the neck bones right now. 'Cause every black man Southern should be a poet. Now you show me one that can't tell a good story, and I'll show you a clone. Even the stutter's on point. That's my joint. That's that fire. Never get tired of hearing the same story, 'cause it's always different. Strong truth and colorful lies to ensure your retention. Like, this nigga had at least be 7 feet tall. Say word. 7 feet tall. Say word. Well, like 6'3", but he was strong as hell. Well, what happened? And then you're trapped in a poem he refuses to write and just recites it. Somehow we got on how he lost his mom and girl in the same night, 'cause 911 started ringing. Took almost an hour for the sirens to start singing, and I kept thinking, I keep thinking about that bright cross the Prince of Peace hate standard for fighting the power. Cold liquor being poured on dark skin, then lit. Hope he turns to ashes and blown, for he's choked out at grandma's house. Pressing a front screen porch. And that dog, that pretty brown dog, can never bring myself to put a leash on it. I feel my brothers when I speak on it. I sleep on it or dream it again. 'Cause every black man Southern should be a poet, y'all.